Okay, welcome back. I've had a chance to have a drink, but haven't finished it yet. Okay, so let's start all over again. We zero it. Now the coffee I'm using is the same as I did last time. From DeLuca's. It's a 6-bean blend. I'm going to cheat and throw 2 more in. Okay, that's good enough. 11.6 grams. Now I will admit the grinder sometimes leaves a little bit in the chute, so I pat on the side of it. I'm just preparing the... Now I'm using cold milk. So, what do I do differently now? What has developed for me? Zero it again. Let's see if I can even make it neat in here. There we go. Once I get it down somewhat, I use the side. Give it a little shake. Well, that was not the shake that I was aiming for. Tap it down. Oh goodness. Only when the camera is watching does stuff like this happen. Okay. So I'm putting down, pressure-wise, probably 10, 15 pounds. Let's see how much coffee I actually lost out of there. Okay, it's down to 11.5. That's still acceptable. Now, look at the mess. Okay, so we're going to use the brewing system now that I use. Went a second longer than I planned, and I hit the button and erased it. Anyway, I timed it 5 seconds. And it started to come out. You can see I could have given it a bit more pressure. Okay. Just the pre-infusion there. And now you can see the lights come back on to reheating. Now the difference in the crema visible, and you can see it coming up. Now I put this back on or not, it doesn't really matter. It'll dribble in here. Now we're going to go to Now steaming is the same way. Now, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, there's drops coming down from the portafilter into the reservoir. And sometimes I'll leave the glass in there. Okay, we've got enough foam. So I go deep now to heat it up just a bit hotter. To get used to it, I used a cooking thermometer, a probe that you would insert into a piece of meat or whatever to get the temperature. And until I learned what it feels like to be about 160 degrees. In this case, I'm ending now because I have a mess. Okay. Okay, now I drained the water out and I left it in there to heat it. Okay. Get rid of the big bubbles. Now, often I cheat and just do this. Okay. I'm going to pour that in the other cup because why waste good foam? Okay. Okay, now you can see the coffee is just protruding slightly there. Okay, we'll back out just a bit. I'll move the mug out of the way so we don't have a disaster. Okay, now the portafilter. Okay, you can see first off, I can turn it upside down, no water. It dribbled through while I was busy. And normally it takes 2 whacks. It doesn't. The puck doesn't come out as dry as it would out of a commercial machine. Do that. Now, the one thing is, last time when I wiped out the brew head, it came out covered with coffee grounds. This time, not so much. I just give it a shot. Okay. And in comparison, okay, you can see the coffee in there is moderately dry. You know, there's a little bit stuck to my fingers, but in comparison to that soupy mess, it's much better. Okay, so that's the unit. Now, let's move over to the stove, back off a little bit. There, okay. So, what you're seeing here First and foremost, this, I have to change it so I can see. Okay, here, this is a Baratza Encore burr grinder. They're conical burrs, good size. They will do everything from French pressed, and I do it right down to espresso pour overs. I grind for my neighbor's drip, no problem. And again, the Breville Cafe Roma. It's an entry-level machine. Purchased that model because we weren't even certain when we checked it out if that was going to be adequate for the job. I wasn't sure that I was going to enjoy espresso, and I don't drink it much by itself, but I do love a cappuccino. Now, people may argue and say, well, that's not a cappuccino. If I did it all in a glass cup, then you can see the layers and do it better that way. I haven't gotten to that yet. This is less than a year's work. What do I use for syrup? You saw me pumping. This is Da Vinci Gourmet sugar-free hazelnut. My neighbor, she's fussy. Okay? You probably didn't even see mine. But anyway, this one is vanilla. Again, sugar-free. And yeah, the third bottle there is more, in actual fact, it's Monin brand sugar-free hazelnut. The pumps that I have will not go on that bottle. It's glass. So I have to put it in here. You can't see that was what I was indicating anyway. So there you go. That's how I've learned how to make coffee without making such a mess. Now I can clean the wall, right? And hopefully this machine will last for many years. It does great. And we make only normally between 1 and 4 cappuccinos a day. And that does just fine for us. We enjoy it, and I say we. My neighbor and I share suppers together and coffee sometime. So that's how we get to enjoy company when we're eating and not just sitting there eating a can of beans by ourselves. Okay, that's it for today. I wish you all the best, and by all means, come again and pop by and visit, and hopefully we'll be outside. Take care. God bless. Ted's clear.